I always believed betrayal would feel like a thunderclap. Loud, violent, impossible to ignore. But when it finally came into my life, it was silent. It arrived on a Tuesday evening, somewhere between reheated pasta and the hum of the washing machine. I remember because nothing about that day felt extraordinary. I had left work early, proud of myself for once. I even bought Lena her favorite chocolate on the way home. The dark one with orange peel she pretended was too bitter, but always finished. I imagined her smile, that half laugh she did when surprised. Instead, I found her phone glowing on the kitchen counter, and a message preview that changed everything. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you. No name, just a number. My first reaction wasn't anger. It was confusion, because Lena had spent last night with me. Or at least, I thought she had. I stood there for what felt like hours. My brain scrambled to explain it away. Wrong number, spam, inside joke. But my hands were already reaching, already unlocking, already crossing a line I didn't know I was crossing. And there it was. A conversation thread stretching back months. Flirtation, memories, plans. And one sentence that made my stomach collapse inward. I wish I could wake up next to you every day. I don't remember sitting down. I don't remember breathing. I only remember thinking, so this is how it happens. Not fireworks, not drama, just words on a screen. When Lena walked in 30 minutes later, she found me still sitting there, still holding her phone. She froze. Her eyes flicked from my face to the phone. And in that split second, before either of us spoke, everything was already over. I can explain, she whispered. People always say that. How long? I asked. 4 months, she said, tears already forming. 4 months. 120 days of lies I had smiled through. It didn't mean anything, she added, as if meaning was the issue. I wish I could tell you, I yelled, that I smashed plates or stormed out, but betrayal drains sound from your body. I simply stood, walked past her, and left. The next weeks blurred into something shapeless. Sleep became impossible. Food tasted like cardboard. Work felt surreal. I moved into my friend Daniel's spare room, where the walls were thin and my thoughts were louder. Everyone had advice. Forgive her, forget her, move on. But grief doesn't obey instructions. I kept replaying memories like a cruel highlight reel. Our first date, our first apartment, the night we talked about children. The morning she said she felt safe with me. Safe. The word echoed like mockery. But the worst part wasn't anger. It was doubt. Because betrayal infects memory. Every laugh becomes suspect. Every touch becomes a question. Was she already lying then? Was I ever truly loved? One night, unable to sleep, I reread the messages, over and over, like pressing a bruise to confirm it still hurt. I learned his name, Evan, his jokes, his coffee order. And strangely, I didn't hate him. He was just a human being who had fallen into something messy. The anger kept circling back to Lena. Eventually, she asked to meet. I owe you a real conversation. We met at a quiet cafe. She looked smaller somehow. I never stopped loving you, she said. Then why? I asked. She hesitated, then said quietly, because I was lonely. Lonely. We lived together, slept in the same bed. You were there, she whispered, but you weren't with me anymore. That sentence cut deep, because part of me knew what she meant. The last year had been hard. I had buried myself in work, deadlines, stress. I was physically present, emotionally absent. But acknowledgement is not justification. I should have talked to you, she said. Instead, I ran. We talked for hours, not about Evan, but about us, our slow drift, our silences. When we parted, nothing was resolved, but something had shifted. Months passed. I began therapy. I learned heartbreak is not just loss of a person, but loss of identity, of future, of certainty. I started rebuilding my life, running, reading, rediscovering who I was without Lena. And somewhere along the way, I stopped seeing myself as a victim. Nearly a year later, Lena called. I'm moving, another city. I just wanted you to know. The thought of her disappearing completely hurt, not because I wanted her back, but because unfinished stories are heavy things. We met again, walked through familiar streets. I ended things with Evan months ago, she said. I don't want what we were, she added. I want something honest. Do you still love me? She asked. It took time to answer. Yes, I said. Love after betrayal is not naive. It is cautious, deliberate, earned. We didn't reunite dramatically. We started with coffee, conversations, transparency, so brutal, it was uncomfortable. Trust wasn't magically restored. It was rebuilt in microscopic pieces. There were setbacks, doubts, memories that resurfaced like landmines. "Are you thinking about it again?" she'd ask. "Yes, I'm here," she'd say, and stay. Slowly, something new formed between us. Not the innocent love of our 20s, but something deeper, weathered, aware. One night she whispered, "Thank you for not giving up on me." "I did give up," I said softly, "for a while, and then I chose to see if love could survive the truth." 2 years have passed since the message I was never meant to see. People ask if I regret staying, if I'm afraid it will happen again. Of course I am, but love has never been about guarantees, only choices. Lena didn't just apologize, she changed, and so did I. We learned to speak before silence became distance, to notice before loneliness became escape. Last week, we moved into a small house with creaky floors and too many windows. This morning, I woke up next to her, sunlight across her face. Peaceful. Real. She opened her eyes, smiled, and whispered, "I feel safe with you." And this time I believed her. Because happiness after betrayal is not built on perfection, but on honesty, forgiveness, and the terrifying courage to try again. And strangely, it feels stronger than anything we had before.